All right, I think we're just about ready to start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honestly, there's only so much reassurance how to present videos can give you, or even your mother, because now that I'm up here, it's a totally different ballgame. But thank you again for being here. As Michael mentioned, I'm Claire Omenta. I had the privilege of carrying out my placement at Reach Edmonton. So just a background of what Reach Edmonton is. Reach Edmonton is a community-based coordinating organization working to make Edmonton a safer community in one generation by focusing on crime prevention initiatives. Reach works with organizations, agencies, community groups, and individual Edmontonians focusing on immigrant, refugee, Aboriginal families who are vulnerable because of poverty, homelessness, and youth at risk. Reach is involved in more than 30 collaborative projects throughout Edmonton, one of which is the Schools as Community Hubs program. The School as Community Hubs program, or SASH, is that right? Yeah. SASH is a crime prevention after school program working to build a safe community for children, youth, and their families in Edmonton. SASH targets communities where there is high concentration of immigrant, refugee, or Aboriginal families and higher increase in crime rates. SASH goals include, but are not limited to, coordinated partnership and strategy that positions schools as key access points for high-needs families, children, and youth. In addition, SASH aims to offer support, recourse, and mentoring activities during critical after-school hours and capacity building. SASH partners with a wide array of organizations, such as the Boys and Girls Club, Big Brother, Big Sisters of Edmonton, and Edmonton Public Library, and so many others. And its outcomes include ensuring that children are engaged in positive activities during critical after-school hours, and ensuring that youth and adults experience improved self-worth, self-confidence, and connection to the community. That said, my role was to evaluate the impact of the program on the youth and their family, and whether it met the intended outcomes. SASH is currently provided in 6 schools, but due to time constraint, we had to narrow it down to these 2 schools: St. Alphonsus Elementary Junior High School and Baldwin Elementary Junior High School. I should note that the objective here was not to do a comparison between the 2 schools. I wasn't trying to employ the good old Catholic versus public school debate. Rather, I aimed to fully capture the varying standpoints. The study employed mixed methodology, that is, focus groups and interviews. The sample was purposive, meaning it wasn't by random selection. The program coordinators recruited the participants for me, which made my job that much more easier, so thanks Mel and Anne. I had a total of 61 participants, which was a fairly big number considering the amount of time I had, but it was successful. The following is a breakdown of my sample size. I had a total of 21 students, 14 parents, 18 service providers, and 4 teachers. Just to clarify, these service providers, or partners as they're called, consist of agencies such as the Rock and Roll Society, Catholic Social Services. They usually come to the school and they offer services like guitar lessons, mentoring, and counseling for the youth and their family. Moving on to the results of my study. There were 3 key themes that emerged in the focus groups and interviews I conducted. 1, the program's social outcomes. 2, the sense of community derived from being part of the program, and the alternative to not having the program in place. I attempted to interpret these results in my own words and provide examples to support my claims. All the students I spoke to loved the program because of all the friends they've made and all the fun activities they do together. The following quote captures how a majority of the kids felt about the program. I love the program because I've made lots of friends and it helps me to know my social skills. Most of these kids come from poor neighborhoods and low-income families, so the program is a safe and it's a very safe and healthy outlet for them. Research indicates that unsupervised time, typically 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., are the riskiest part of the day for a young person. So a program like SASH gives them that healthy and safe outlet for them. And it enhances a chance for learning, it introduces positive role models, and it provides shelter for unsafe neighborhoods. Speaking of positive role models, this is precisely how these kids talked about the staff. Majority of them reported the staff as people they can trust and talk to if they have a problem. The staff actually considers the youth's individual's needs and considerations, and the parents reported that they feel safe having this, they trust the staff with the kids, and they love them like their own kids. For most parents, SASH has been a critical tool of socialization for their children. Since the program caters to kindergarten to grade 9 students, it has allowed for interactions between the various age groups, which has in turn led to relationships within the program and outside the school as well. As one parent shared, the program has helped my son to socialize more with people around him. He has become more friendly and loose and helped him have more friends in life. The teachers expressed a general sense that the after-school program does indeed work, in that it has had an impact on reducing behavioral issues and academic improvement, as one teacher shared. The program has shown some positive academic benefits. They do homework there, and for my kids that really need that extra reinforcement, it's nice for them to come to the program and get some more practice. Also, the people running it do a great job. It definitely makes my job a lot easier. Moving on to the next theme. Another key impact that the program has had on the youth and their families was the sense of community derived from being a part of it. As previously mentioned, SASH works to build a safe community for children, youth, and their families by reducing risk factors while building a sense of community. The ability of SASH to attain this has resulted significantly from programs that give parents the opportunity to interact with the school, the community, and other parents. It has enabled parents and community members to participate in programs such as citizenship classes, Korean language classes, and Zumba, thus fostering a sense of community and a sense of belonging. Additionally, the level of parental involvement is quite impressive. And one parent shared, the program allows us to connect with each other because we all live kind of roughly within the area community, and that's nice. I mean, that's what a community should be. So it's nice to connect with your neighbors because you have this in common, because your kids are in the program. And if you would indulge me, I would like to share one success story that captures just how close-knit this program has been. One program coordinator shared with me that a family had just immigrated here from the Philippines, and they have a daughter in grade 3 who was really struggling to interact with the school, make friends. So the teachers suggested the program to the parent, and they signed the kid up, and it changed her life. She made lots of friends, and things just took a turn. So last year in spring, the mother came back to the program facilitators and said, hey, I just met a lady who is from our country, and she has a son who's experiencing the same problems that my daughter was experiencing. So I would like to pull my daughter from the program 2 days out of the week, because they go there the whole week, and give the kid, the son, the rest of the days. So that was just it's amazing for a parent to give up their spot for another parent, because they knew the impact that the program has had on their own daughter. And that's just one of the many success stories the program has had. In regards to the students who have been in the program, all through elementary and junior high, most of them are involved in volunteering, community outreaching. For instance, because of the sense of community, a lot of them, like I said, come back to volunteer. And the facilitators saw a need to keep this continuity going for the junior highs. So they created this Leading Light program for the junior highs, and they meet once a week during lunch, and they just do mentoring skills and leadership skills. So this shows the impact and the positive impact the program has had on the youth. Moving on to the next theme. When it began, SASH was just a 3-year pilot study, but because of the immense success that it had, it got extended for another year, this current school year. But unfortunately, due to funding issues, it faces the possibilities of coming to an end when this school year comes to an end. That said, I looked to find out from the participants what would the alternative be for them if the after-school program wasn't in place. For majority of the students, the after-school program, like I mentioned, is a safe haven and a place to learn, to be productive, and to get homework help and engage in healthy activities. This is one of the quotes from one of the students. I guess I would just be at home bored or playing video games, and my mom would yell at me because I wouldn't be productive. I won't even do my homework because there's no one to help me. Sadly, this is the reality that these kids face if the program does come to an end. For majority of the parents, the alternative would mean cutting down on their hours at work and having to pay for daycare, which a lot of them cannot afford. So this free 5 days a week after school program has been a saving grace for a lot of these low-income families. So naturally, the prospect of it coming to an end is unnerving. As one parent shared, I do worry about it. I mean, I probably would have to seek for after-school care or daycare because I don't live close to here. I'm a single mom, so that's one of the reasons he comes here. And a daycare would cost me a lot of money, but I can't at this point think of any other option, really. The service providers expressed that the alternative would mean a setback from all the progress they've made over the past 3 years, because the program has been effective, has been an effective crime prevention strategy. And one of them shared, these critical hours pose the risk of youth getting involved in criminal activity and getting recruited by gangs, especially here in the inner city. Teachers also fear the alternative in that students will have less feelings of responsibilities and they would lose those relationships that they have gained with other peers, especially from the different grades. As one teacher shared, honestly, it's devastating to even think what the school would look like. I can't even remember how it used to be before the program. It's just been so positive because we've got kids that are now so involved and engaged in things at the school level, and the families are as well. So I've gone over some critical themes that came out of the data, but what does this all mean? What are the sociological implications? Why don't youth at risk commit crime? I will employ Travis Hershey's 1969 social bond, social control theory in an attempt to answer this question. For Hershey, the answer could be found in the bonds that people form to pro-social values, pro-social people, and pro-social institutions. It is these bonds that end up controlling our behavior when we are tempted to engage in criminal acts or deviant behavior. Accordingly, these bonds come in 4 interrelated forms. The first is attachment. Attachment refers to the level of psychological affection one has to pro-social institutions and others. For Hershey, parents in school are of critical importance in this regard, where youths who form attachments to their parents in school, by extension, experience greater levels of social control. The second type of bond is commitment, where Hershey cited the importance of the social relationship that people value, which they would not want to jeopardize by getting involved in criminal behavior. In essence, people are less likely to misbehave when they know that they have something to lose. For youths, this could mean not wanting to look bad in front of their friends, parents, or teachers. The third type of social bond is known as involvement, which relates to the opportunity cost associated with how people spend their time. Specifically, Hershey tapped into the whole old philosophy that idle hands are the devil's workshop, in that if people are spending their time engaged in some form of pro-social activity, then they're not, by definition, getting involved in antisocial activities. For example, youths who are heavily involved in legitimate school-related activities like after-school programs will not be indulging in criminal or deviant acts. And the final type of social bond identified by Hershey is belief, which refers to the degree which one adheres to the values associated with conformity to law. The assumption being that the more important such values are to a person, the less likely he or she is to be involved in criminal act or deviant behavior. Although this relationship is simple, the underlying concept is that there is a relationship between attitudes and behavior. Pro-social attitudes constrain people from getting involved in deviant behavior that they would be otherwise if they didn't have those social bonds in place. So again, what does this all mean? I will wrap up by saying that all I mentioned here today are initiatives geared towards prevention. An after-school program such as the School as Community Hubs program is a means of creating social bonds and promoting prevention. These means of social bonds and controls, as we have noticed, serve at an individual level. They also serve at an organizational level, because you have organizations like REACH and many others who are tailored towards crime prevention. And lastly, these preventative means serve the society in the long run, because they socialize law-abiding citizens, and which in turn guarantees future social and economic output. I can honestly say, after interacting with these kids and the teachers and the parents throughout these, past several months, I can attest to the impact this program has had. And so therefore, I can make a humble plea that programs like this should be funded. They should be extended to other schools because they are an investment in the future. And the alternative to not having them in place is quite detrimental, honestly. So I would like to take this time to thank Reach Edmonton for providing this amazing opportunity. I would like to thank my supervisor, Helen, and the program coordinators, Mel and Anne. I couldn't have done this without you. Michael, I still don't know how you got me to do this project, but I'm glad you did. We all appreciate you. You've been a great leader and our biggest cheerleader. And I would also like to thank the faculty members that I came to their office in a panic. And Diane and Mike, you offered your expertise and knowledge, and it's all been invaluable. Thank you again for all being here and for listening to my presentation.